I've given you 4 very good options and 4 very different models, explain the pros and cons to you of each one. And so you have, the ability to make that choice. Hey everybody, this is Rob Keynes with 𝙎𝙄𝙇𝙑𝙀𝙍, and in today's video, we're going to answer the long-awaited question that people have had on our channel with regards to where should I store my gold. Now, a lot of you have been asking me to review some of these popular gold storage places. Are they safe? Are they audited? What type of features do they have? What are your account minimums? How much does it cost? Those are the types of questions I'm going to finally answer for you guys today. Now, I am going to take 4 examples of different models in the space. I'm going to go over those models. I will not be able to cover every company out there. That's just impossible. But if I cover these 4 basic models, it'll give you a good idea of what's out there and what are the advantages of each one so that you can make your own decision in researching where you may want to store your metals. Now, you may be asking the question, why would I want to store my metals with somebody else? If I don't hold it, I don't own it, right? Where there are a lot of counter arguments to that. A lot of times you don't want to keep a lot of precious metals in your home or anywhere they could be subject to a home invasion or other type of risk, fire, things like that, which may potentially threaten the safety of those metals or the safety of the inhabitants. So a lot of people, especially if they're taking a sizable position in the metals, want to store it with somebody else and they just want a trusted contact. But they may also want different features. So different storage companies give you different features for how you can access your metals, how you can buy them, how you can sell them, and so on and so forth. So again, we're going to go over 4 of those models today to help you answer that question. And again, you have to do your own research. Let's get straight into the presentation and we'll take a look at what some of the options are. So this presentation is called Storage Options, different models for you to consider. And of course, we're going to start with the disclaimer, which basically says Gold Silver Pros is not a registered financial advisor. This is not financial or legal advice. The following does not constitute financial advice, nor should it be construed as a recommendation of a particular company, financial service, or financial security. Gold Silver Pros makes no warranties of any kind as to the information contained. Critical information may be missing, and Gold Silver Pros takes no responsibility whatsoever, meaning we can just report on what we found on the web, but we are not guaranteeing anything that's in this report. You have to do your own research. Each viewer should do their own research and consult their financial advisor before doing anything with this information. And the information is meant only for research and informational purposes. All right, with that disclaimer out of the way, guys, let's get jumping right into it. I'm very excited to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So the first company we're going to look at is Matterhorn Asset Management, also goes by the company name Gold Switzerland. It, of course, has been made famous by 𝙂𝙊𝙇𝙑𝙖, who is at the center of all this, a well-respected gold analyst. And he has built a premium service. And I want to emphasize this is premium. It does have both gold and silver options. There are multiple storage locations. They're owned or managed by the company, and they have different security levels. One of them is built into the side of a mountain, has very high levels of security. Another one is below an airport, also has different security levels, but also you can fly in and get your metals because it's right there at the airport. So they offer a lot of features that a very wealthy investor would want, and therefore this is marketed toward the wealthy. It's not for people who can't meet minimums. The minimum investment is CHF 400,000 or US 400,000. And the fees are not posted on their webpage. They're only quoted upon inquiry and not printed on the website. I do know several people who have contacted this company, and I can safely say that the fees for this service are higher than other services in the space. However, that is because they have very high levels of security. It's a very strong product, and they're marketed toward the wealthy. So that's why the fees are going to be a little bit higher. You're going to pay more, but you're going to get more, but probably would only be able to afford this if you're in the top 1% or so. They are notably expensive, but they are highly secure storage options, and they're fully segregated and allocated storage. So if you're wealthy and you have a sizable position in gold and silver, or you're considering a sizable position in gold and silver, this may be a service that you want to do your research on and potentially think about using. Again, contact your financial advisor for final advice. The second company that I wanted to look at is a very common company. It's JM Bullion. They operate right out of here, right out of North Texas, in the area that I live. I've used them to purchase gold and silver on their website, like I have a lot of the retailers. Had a good experience there. I've never used their storage product, but they do have one, and it's pretty popular. They use TDS, which is Transcontinental Depository Services, which is like Brink's, but it's owned by A-Mark Precious Metals, which is a big name in the precious metal space. They're offering a deal right now that the first 6 months, there's no cost to store your metals. After that, they charge you 0.5% of the total value stored. So as your precious metals go up in value, you have to pay a higher storage amount, even though you may not actually be storing additional ounces. This could be seen as a drawback to some people, but a lot of companies operate this way. And the reason they operate that way is as the value of the metal gets more expensive, they may have to have higher and higher security precautions, and pay their people really well to protect that. So that's sort of the reasoning behind having a percentage model. Not for everybody, but definitely a very popular model in the space, which is why I wanted to talk about it. I want to review one that had this model so you guys would understand it. They do ship the metal back. So when you store your metals with them, you're storing your actual metals. It is fully allocated and segregated in your name. You can get the exact same metals back. It's not a pooled account. And I talked with the company yesterday and they said there's no fees for getting the metal back. So they'll ship it directly to you. Now there's probably some insurance costs that they didn't quote me that you'll want to ask them about. You'll want to call their representative to validate all this, but this is what I was told on the phone. Again, fully allocated and segregated storage. They're audited every year. I did not see the audit report on their website, but you're free to contact them to get a copy or to ask for a copy. And they do offer multiple storage locations. So you can pick where you want it stored, and you can do your own research as to where those are. But JM Bullion is going to be a popular product with people just getting into metal storage, especially that have a low amount of money invested. Just be aware, if you're going to invest a lot of money in this, the fees for storing go up in proportion to the value of the metals. Not only how much metal you're putting in there, but as the prices rise, so will your storage fees. Just be aware of that. Again, you can get the metal shipped back. There's a lot of options there to get access to your metal if you need it. So JM Bullion is a popular metals dealer, and they have a popular service that you can store. What I would call a traditional storage service. Is a little bit cheaper than Matterhorn Asset Management is, which is really marketed to the wealthy and the uber rich, basically. And then we have GLINT, which is a completely different product, although it does fit into metal storage space. I do, full disclosure, have a GLINT account and a card, which I funded with $10,000 US in gold, and I've been a happy customer. I've used the debit card. I've funded the account. I've never had any problems, but I just want to put this out there that I am a GLINT customer, and I can speak to the fact that I've never had an issue. And I do fully recommend them for anybody looking to use this type of system. They are gold focused. They don't have silver right now, but they also have currency. So you can trade in currencies, which is pretty cool. And it's accessible in over 200 countries. So you can buy, save, and spend gold digitally, and you can access their system in 200 different countries. So you have a lot of currencies you can trade, and you can store your savings in gold. It's pretty cool. They have a debit card feature. It is a MasterCard for quick access to monetizing stored metals in 37 countries. What that means is you can use that debit card, which can be allocated in gold. You don't have to allocate it to cash before you use it. You just simply swipe that card, and they automatically calculate the dollars that you spent, how much gold you have to redeem. They do that at the end of the day, but they calculate on the price that you had at that moment when you spent it. So it's very fair. And they take the gold out of your account, and they basically pay off that bill for you. So it's a way that you can access your gold immediately to spend if you need it. So if you literally want to have it's kind of like a bank account where you're storing in gold and you can access it via a debit card, although it's not technically a bank account, it's a gold account, but it acts much like a bank account, but you're storing in gold instead of dollars or euros or other fiat currencies. It's pretty darn cool. I've used this before and never had a problem. As with any debit card, they do have a PIN number, and getting access to your PIN is not difficult. You can simply request a new one via the app, and they have a process for getting a new one if you forget it. So nice little card to have when you travel or you're buying groceries and you want to store your money in gold. It's pretty cool. They're allocated and segregated. They use Brinks, which is the granddaddy of all the storage companies, the vaults in Switzerland, and it's insured by Lloyd's of London. Having the metal insured is important because if something happens to that metal, it gets lost, it gets stolen, they get held up, whatever the case may be, that insurance is supposed to pay for any loss. It's nice to have that as a backup plan because you are storing something that's highly valuable in gold. They also have GLINT. You can send US dollars between GLINT account. It's a way for you to transfer dollars from one account to another without having to use the wire system, send the money, send a physical check. That's pretty cool. It allows you to access your money and send it to somebody else or receive it from somebody else using their system. As for what countries that's available in, please contact their website. They're adding new countries all the time. GLINT's Forex services are cheaper than banks. So if you're exchanging between currencies, you can do it cheaper than banks. There's no need to use currency exchanges to use the card outside the US. So if you're traveling and you have it designated in US dollars, you can use it. They exchange on their end using some of the best rates available between the currency of the country you're in and the US currency, or vice versa if you're from the UK or whatever the case may be. So it's really cool. You'll get cheaper rates when you're traveling overseas, and you get a better exchange rate that you can with your bank, and certainly better than a walk-up money changer where you go up and you hand them cash of some sort and get another cash back. You'll beat that. So there's advantage to using this card when you're traveling. They do have a 3% fee if you're funding via debit card loading. So if you use your debit card to fund your account, it's 3% fee to counteract their costs. Although if you do ACH, traditional ACH, there's no cost. So I did ACHs to fund my account, and it wasn't any cost, basically, to put the dollars in there and to buy the gold. They do have various transaction fees and ATM fees because there are a lot of features on using that card. That's no different than a bank card you get through the bank. And the fees aren't really any higher than what you would pay through a regular debit card to your regular bank. But just be aware that if you use your card in that manner, there are some fees. However, the peer-to-peer USD transfers are free. So if you're transferring dollars from one account to another, from your account to somebody else's account, those don't cost you any money. They do have a mobile app to manage the account. I do have the mobile app on my phone as well. One of these days, I'm going to do a recording of that mobile app and show you how everything actually works. So it should be really cool. But you can manage everything from that mobile app, and it's really cool. That way you can take it with you on the go. So if you have your card and you have your mobile app and you're traveling, your arms for bear. You're ready to go. You've got no problems. They currently have over 90,000 users, and they're managing over 300 million in assets. So they are growing. They're in 200 countries. And they are well established. So that's an interesting model because it allows you to store in gold, to trade some currencies, to send money to people, to have a debit card. It's got some more advanced features than some of the other companies that we've been looking at here. And if you want those advanced features, want easy access to your money, want to be able to send USD to somebody else with an account, those are pretty cool features. I mean, those are enhancements that you don't get in the regular banking system. Of course, the debit card has the normal functionality to it. You guys may want to take a look at that one. I think it's cool. I'm a customer, and I'm very, very happy. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we have ONEGOLD. Now, there's some advantages to using ONEGOLD that I want to go out over. First of all, it's founded by APMEX, which is one of the US's largest precious metals dealer, and Sprott. So this has Eric Sprott behind it. It has APMEX behind it. Two huge, gargantuan names in the metal space. Right there, that tells you that you're dealing with a quality company. They do gold, they do silver, they also do platinum, which is really cool. Platinum has been on a run lately. It's done very well. Those of you who are interested in speculating in platinum and storing in platinum precious metal definitely have that option. Not a lot of companies have this option. They also have a mobile app to manage the account. The mobile app's really cool. It's got a lot of features to it. It's got some research features to it, account management features to it. So that's pretty cool. Much like GLINT, you can do that. They store at 3 different companies. They will store your metal either at Loomis, which is another one of those big international, well-recognized companies, at APMEX's custom vaults. Yes, APMEX has their own vault, and also at the Royal Canadian Mint, which is a world-class storage vault. So ONEGOLD has storage at world-class facilities, much like a lot of these other providers. They're also insured by Lloyd's of London. Now, there are fees to load your account. According to the website, gold is 0.8% fee, silver is 2%. However, if you load via credit card and PayPal, those will incur additional surcharges. I believe it was 3.99%, but that may change as those charges change. So go to the website and validate that for yourself. But if you're doing it through a regular wire, it's just the regular fees for buying the gold and silver. If you use credit card or PayPal, as with any service, they're going to upcharge you by the amount that those services charge them. The one thing that's also very unique about ONEGOLD is you can purchase it using cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, 3 different stable coins, and Ripple. So for example, if you made your money in Bitcoin or these other cryptos that are listed here, and you want to turn that directly into gold, silver, or platinum, you can do that. You can exchange your digital currencies for these precious metals, and that way you don't have to do multiple transactions. You don't have to sell your cryptocurrency for cash and then buy the metals with your cash. You can simply do it straight via their app and your account, which is really, really cool. That's going to appeal to a lot of people who make their money in the cryptos but want to store it in gold and silver. And believe you me, there are a lot of those. I know a lot of people who are crypto miners and also play the crypto game who want to do long-term storage in the metals. There are a lot of those people, and OneGold will be a great place to do that if you're interested. They are audited twice per year. If you're interested in getting those audit results, you can reach out to the company. I don't believe they're posted online, at least I didn't find them, but they may share them with you if you ask very nicely. They have fully owned metal rights. So when you buy metal, you're buying into a pooled position. So according to the company, it guarantees it always has more metal than customers have purchased. So they're never net short, which is something you want to look out for. But you have fully owned metal rights. So you have rights to that metal in your name. But what that pooled metal allows you to do is buy in small amounts. So you don't have to buy a full gold bar, full silver bar, or full platinum bar. You can start off with smaller accounts. You share ownership to that with other people. And as long as they're keeping more overall metal than their customers own, it's liquid and there shouldn't be too many concerns there. I would contact the company about that to get comfortable with that and just make sure that you're comfortable that they have what they say they have. I have no reason to believe they wouldn't be, because they're founded by 𝙂𝙂 and Sprott. And I don't think those guys would put their name on anything and take a risk with the American public, especially after what we've seen with some of these other services. They also have some really cool features. You can auto invest. It's like a savings account where you can put money in and build up a nice savings in the precious metals, which I love. This is great if you're trying to open accounts for your kids. Of course, you have to open them in your name, but you can do that auto invest and help your kids save that way. And then whenever you want to, you just bequeath, those accounts or the value of those accounts over to your kids if you want. It's a great teaching tool for kids to learn how to save. They also have physical redemption, so you can get access to your metals. You can call them for what their rates are to get those redeemed to you. And they are IRA eligible. So if you have an IRA and you're wanting to store in gold, silver, platinum, maybe you're transferring over from another qualified account and you've already got some money, or you want to open a new IRA, OneGold will allow you to do that. So OneGold is really cool because it's got a lot of features you can use. It's got the IRA on top. It's got the mobile app. You can pick where your metals are stored. It's relatively cheap in order to get them. It's audited. You got full metal rights. You can do small amounts. So each one of these really has its pros and cons. Each one of these are good options for you if you're interested in storing the metals. Those are the four basic models you're going to see. You're going to see the ones geared toward the uber wealthy that have very high security and are more of a concierge-based type service. If you have that kind of money, you're going to see the ones that are geared to people who are just starting saving, don't have a lot, and want to get in as cheaply as possible with the cheapest fees, but still have it in a world-class storage facility. You're going to see the ones that allow you to use a debit card and have instant access to it and also trade currencies and be able to manage it with your mobile app. And then you're going to see ones that allow you to buy it with your cryptocurrency winnings and to open IRAs and use save metals in a qualified account and things like that. So each one has its different advantages. I think each one could potentially be a good option for you if you're looking at storing your metal with someone else and potentially having access to it through various on and off ramps in the banking system. Of course, again, do your own research. This wasn't to advocate any particular service to you. What I really wanted to do was give you all the different options, give you the research so that you could figure out the one that works the best for you if you're considering doing this, and bring you 4 reputable companies that look pretty trustworthy based upon who they are, who founded them, the type of service that they have, their name, and all of those types of things. Again, have to do your own research here, but I think I've given you 4 very good options and 4 very different models, explain the pros and cons to you of each one. And so you have, the ability to make that choice. I love doing this type of content because we can put this up on the channel and it will live for a very long time, because even 5 years from now, 10 years from now, people are going to want to know what the different options are. We can simply tweak and update the video every once in a while, but this information is going to be what we call evergreen. It's going to help you over the long term if you're interested in knowing more about this. So that's why I wanted to put the video out. Now, I'm not done with this type of video. We're going to do similar types of videos in the future where we review different services and basically explain what your options are in order to educate you. That's what we do here on the channel at Gold Silver Pros. And for now, I think this was a big success. 4 good options for you to consider if you're considering wanting to get into precious metals and either already have enough at home or don't want to store it at home, want that security and that peace of mind of having it with someone else, but with the ability still to get easy access to it. I think each one of those, you can get access to your metals when you need to. Getting physical redemption or using a debit card or whatever the case may be, selling it and getting the cash back to your bank account, those are all important. We all have to have an exit strategy. And I think that that's a super important consideration as well. Now, remember, on January 26th, our keynote speaker, James Anderson of SD Bullion, is going to be here speaking about how and when to get out of gold and silver, when to sell your gold and silver, when should you do that. That will be a good follow-up at that conference, Wednesday, January 26th, 1 to 6 p.m., that talks about your exit strategy once you have these type of accounts established, because you may not want to hold it forever. Maybe you want to hold on to your gold for the next 50 years, or maybe you're wanting to stair step sell out of it as the price goes up. James will be addressing that at the conference. We'll have other speakers there as well. We welcome you to it. And there's a sign up link down below this video for that January 26th conference. With that, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining the program. Thank you for all of you that have asked for this information and provided me the platform and enable to support you with that information, and for supporting us on the channel. Until next time, this is Rob Keents with GoldSilverPros.com. Hey everybody, this is Robert. Thank you so much for watching that video content. I have a couple of quick announcements I'd like to share with you as we head out of this video. First, I want you to know that on January 26, 2022, we're going to have our inaugural 2022 Metals Kickoff Conference. It'll be the first virtual conference of the year. We'll have many to follow. You can register for it by clicking on the link in the video description below, and which will take you to this page, and you can click to register for that event. We'll have many great speakers there that you guys love. Tavi Costa from Crescat Capital, James Anderson from SD Bullion, John Fennick, Fennick Consulting, Dave Kranzler, Investment Research Dynamics, Andy Schechtman from Miles Franklin, Ian Everard from 𝙂𝙍𝙊𝙎, and more will be joining us, as well as a slew of companies if you're interested in investing. Also wanted to remind you, you can find us on GoldSilverPros.com. We have a free newsletter. If you click here and enter your email address, we'll send that out every Monday to you, as well as we have special precious metals deals with leading bullion dealers here in the United States. If you click that button, you can go here and click on either Miles Franklin or 𝙂𝙊𝙀 and get the best deals in the business. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us on the channel. Until next time, this has been Gold Silver Pros.